In 1910, before the world had seen the world wars, before the internet certainly, before the rise of the modern energy economy, Andrew Carnegie had been one of the richest people in the world, and he was passionate about global peace and security. And his bold idea was to create an institution that was about relationships, about knowledge, about analysis, to try to create the conditions for greater global cooperation, peace, and security. Today, the Carnegie Endowment is going strong after 112 years. I'm Tino Cuéllar. I'm the new president of the Carnegie Endowment, and I want to tell you why this institution does the work that it does. We are about building relationships. We're about doing analysis, writing reports, helping get the right data to policymakers so that they can prepare the conditions for diplomatic breakthroughs, for advancing global cooperation in a realistic, practical way. Today, the world is changing, and we must adapt. We've done that in the past. When we were created, there were no nuclear weapons. Over the past 40 years or so, nuclear proliferation, nuclear security, arms control have been very important pieces of our priorities. We have over 3,800 nuclear weapons that are still deployed throughout the world. These weapons create a huge danger for the world. And as we continue to see relations across the world among great powers get more complicated and technology continue to change in this area with hypersonic weapons, for example, we are renewing our commitment to this crucial area and making sure the world doesn't forget it, how important it is to continue to make progress on nonproliferation, arms control, building the right framework to make sure these weapons do not continue to pose the enormous risk that they represent today. On the technology side, of course, cybersecurity is an issue for national security, for financial institutions, for pretty much everything that people do today, which depends on computers. Artificial intelligence brings huge possibilities to deal with global poverty, but also raises governance questions. We are trying to find a way to make sure countries can continue to talk about these issues, to find common ground despite geopolitical tensions. Why did Andrew Carnegie start this years ago? He was an immigrant. He saw the effects of war, the breakdown of cooperation. He understood that even technologies and problems that couldn't be entirely anticipated in 1910 would require analysis, relationships, knowledge, objective, nonpartisan research, and that's what we continue to do. And as the world faces new challenges, including on climate and sustainability, we're going to bring that approach to these problems. I think about the ways that kids growing up in places like India, Africa, even here in North America, are being affected by this challenge. How health, sustainability around agriculture, migration, everything is being impacted by our inability to fully take on this challenge, this opportunity for global cooperation. Our new push in this area is meant to complement the work we do around regional dynamics in places like Asia, Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and ultimately to build on the approaches that we've tried to use over many, many decades. For Carnegie, the old challenges are still here, but the world's evolved. We face some new threats. We require some new priorities, but the continuity that we bring and that we will continue to bring is using knowledge, objective analysis, nonpartisan research, and relationships to try to do our part to promote human flourishing.